Welcome to the Advocate Income Network. I'm your host, Dave Perry. In today's show, we're going to introduce you to the field of Social Security disability advocacy. To make this happen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Gabriel Scott, CEO and founder of the Disability Associates Corporation. Mr. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mr. Scott, I'd like to start by asking, what is a disability advocate?
A disability advocate, also known as a disability consultant or non-attorney representative, is a specially trained individual who assists others who are applying for Social Security disability benefits.
Gabe, I'm pretty sure that many of our listeners have never heard of a disability advocate. Did you create this service?
No, I didn't create disability advocacy. I discovered it. As a former Social Security policy expert, I was able to identify this opportunity buried in the Code of Federal Regulations. At the time, virtually no one knew this opportunity existed. During that same period, I also noted a trend from those applying for Social Security disability benefits. In 1987, the economy was in a serious slump. My research showed that during this economic slump, the number of those applying for disability benefits increased. On the surface, at least, it appeared that a worsening economy increased the demand for Social Security disability advocates. Given this trend, I decided to start this service.
So you entered this business during a serious economic downturn.
That's correct. I learned very early in my career that the best financial opportunities always occur when everyone else is running scared. But there are service-related rules that must be considered if you expect to succeed.
What are some of these rules?
First of all, a successful business must address some kind of genuine need. In this case, I noticed that most people who applied for Social Security disability benefits were denied. These applicants were extremely frustrated and felt helpless against the bureaucracy. Back then, if a person was denied Social Security disability benefits, the only alternative was to hire an attorney. I discovered that most disability applicants were distrustful of attorneys for various reasons. I quickly identified those reasons for distrust and made sure that they were not part of my service. Another important rule for a successful advocacy service was the establishment of trust. I implemented a number of policies very early in my career that would foster a sense of trust with every client who used my service.
What are some of the most important ways to establish trust in an advocacy service?
There are two things that come to mind. The first is to make the client the priority. To many, service-related businesses focus more on the bottom line than they do the quality of the service they provide. The second rule of success is to make honesty and integrity the hallmarks of your service. People who are applying for disability benefits are usually seriously ill or injured. The last thing they need is a representative who is only interested in collecting a fee. This is a people business, and people have fears and concerns that can be addressed by a properly trained advocate.
Well, that certainly explains why your company has such an outstanding reputation in this industry.
Thank you.
Gabe, thank you so much for taking the time to visit our show. How can a person learn more about your company and your training?
They can learn more about both by visiting our website at www.ssahelp.com. That's www.ssahelp.com.
Gabe, once again, I'd like to thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
Disability Associates is the premier trainer of disability advocates in the United States. To learn more about the exciting field of Social Security disability advocacy, visit the Disability Associates website at www.ssahelp.com. That's www.ssahelp.com. I'm your host, Dave Perry, with the Disability Advocate Income Network. Thanks for listening.